Hey everyone, it's Miss Otto again. Today's going to be our last lesson on RNA and DNA. So today's lesson is going to be about transcription and translation. So step one is transcription. Transcription is when DNA makes a RNA strand. The RNA strand that is made is called messenger RNA. And this messenger RNA sends a message from the DNA into the cytoplasm. So you can think as messenger RNA as Amazon Prime, the postman. They are delivering a message. It's just a message. Or like when I comment on your work on Google Classroom, I'm relaying a message. Now the reason why it needs to relay a message is because DNA needs to stay in the nucleus. That's where it's safe. So it uses messenger RNA to relay the message, to send a message out into the cytoplasm. So this is an example of what happens inside. If you can look at the diagram, you see that the DNA strand is unzipping. A messenger RNA is being made. Now, I noticed a lot of your worksheets when it came to transcription. Remember that there is no T in RNA, just a U. So anytime you see an A in the DNA sequence and it's asked to be transcribed to RNA, make sure it's always attached to a U. Examples of transcription. So this is an example. You have a DNA strand, and I gave you two examples here so you guys can realize that A always goes to U. So the first strand is GAG, and it's the RNA strand is going to be CUC. Then it goes AAAC, it's going to go UUG. So if you notice, there are still going to be T's, but the T's are only going to be found in your DNA strand. T, when it gets transcribed to RNA, is always going to bind with A. So remember, A binds to U, T binds to A, C binds to G, and G binds to C. So I hope this helps with the other work I will give you guys to practice RNA. Step two is the translation part. So the translation part is that the codons code or translate for amino acids. This is what happens for protein synthesis. So the mRNA is going to move out of the nucleus into the cytoplasm. The messenger RNA is going to attach itself to a ribosome, which is the translator. So think about, I know a lot of you may take Spanish, math, or Mandarin, or Hebrew. If you ever use Google Translate, you type in the English version, you hit translate, and Google Translate will change the words to either Spanish, French, Hebrew, or Mandarin. So that's what your RNA does. Your RNA attaches to the ribosome, and the ribosome translates it. So the ribosome is like Google Translate. And the ribosome decodes the RNA and translates it into an amino acid chain. The amino acid chain forms a protein. So this chart looks like a lot and looks like it's complicated, but it really isn't. Remember, a codon is a group of 3 bases. So this chart just shows you what 3 letters, what each base codes for, which amino acid it codes for. So if you can see that one codes for a stop codon, meaning that it's going to stop, it already has enough amino acids. And then you notice that some codons code for a start, which means it's going to start making an amino acid. So AUG stands for start codon. That means that that chain of amino acid is going to be making a protein. You're going to be getting a lot of practice on this and how to actually do it. This is just a chart, so remember to always use this chart if I ask you to make an amino acid chain. So amino acids are really important. There are 20 amino acids that humans need to survive. Your body makes 14 of them on their own by protein synthesis. The other 8 you get through your diet, which is eating, and they're called the 8 essential amino acids. So an example of translation. So these are examples of RNA strands. AUG, like I said before, is going to be your start codon. The next codon is going to code for trypsin. A lot of these amino acids always end in I and E. That's how you know it's an amino acid. So protein synthesis, I'm going to try to send you a brain pop that shows you protein synthesis, or even an Amoeba Sisters that explains how this all happens. So DNA transcribes to RNA. That RNA is going to translate those codons and make a protein. So these are practice questions which I want you to do. So what I'll do is, not only will you have this note screencast on YouTube, but I'll also be able to give you the PowerPoint so you can write on it. So what I want you to do here is replicate the following DNA molecule. So when I mean replicate, I want you to take that DNA and replicate it. Meaning, for example, AAA is replicate to DNA is going to be TTT. Once you have your new strand of DNA, then you're going to transcribe it. So if you see here, this is going to be T, T, T. If I transcribe that to RNA, I'm going to get A, A, A. Translate your mRNA into an amino acid chain. So you have to go back to the chart, which was on slide 5, and look for AAA. And what does that stand for? So AAA is going to stand for lysine. So we're going to write that answer down. So you're going to do that for each codon, each triplet. And then you're going to say, what does an amino acid chain form? So I kind of did the first example for you. Then you have other practice questions, and I want you to keep doing this. I know it seems like a lot of work, but the more practice you have on replicating, transcribing, and translation, the easier this will be for you when we do other work. So that's it. That's your last slide on today's lesson on translation. What I want you guys to do is that when you are done listening to the YouTube about translation, is don't forget to write in your notes. That's also important too, to use your guided note sheet to help you out with all these terms. There's a lot of new vocabulary words that you're learning, and I hope that you guys are either making flashcards or a Quizlet to better prepare yourself for the work I will be giving you. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I will be Zooming in with everybody soon on Tuesday just to do a quick check-in to make sure we're all getting the understanding of DNA, RNA, replication, transcription, translation. I miss you all, and I hope that everybody is being safe. And if you ever need any help, you can always message me on Google Classroom or send me an email.